Hi guys, Crafts here. In this video I want to explain you 7 ways in which you can increase your leveling pace to level 16 Classic World of Warcraft by around 1 day. A short story about myself. I'm, as I already mentioned, Cryphus. I leveled several characters to 60, and to reach with a tune level 60 in below 4 days without abusing the rested bonus is absolutely no issue. If you want to know how I do this exactly, means the entire route, just check out the description. I posted a link to my route down there. My fastest time was 3 days, 18 hours. Yeah, I know what I'm talking about. I know the game, and I have 7 tips now for you, which increase your leveling pace, and you don't need to have any knowledge about the game. So just enjoy it. The first tip is don't use professionals. Obviously, this is not meant for everyone. If you want to speed level, if you want to be 60 as fast as possible, don't use professionals except cooking and first aid. Depending on your class, first aid is regenerating faster. Overall is first aid regenerating faster health as eating. However, not every class needs it. For example, I'm a hunter, I can eat faster. I don't need to eat so much. I need to drink more mana, so I just eat in the same time. And I can heal my pet, so I don't need first aid. However, early level you need it. The most classes need first aid. So you probably want to take first aid. And cooking, just on one skill point, since if you take cooking, you are able to accept the quest on level 5, which you do anyway, since you just need to some meat, which you get on the way while questing anyway, so easy quest. Everything else just is time consuming. However, I can understand the point that the most of you want to reach 60 and have everything done. My tip for you is just use the gathering profession. Don't skill the crafting. As an example, you want to be a skinner and a leader worker. You skin the enemies and send all the materials that you get to an alternative character that you created beforehand. The reason is, on level 60 can you farm obviously gold more efficient, and low materials are very cheap. So everything below level 30 materials are not worth it. So they are just worth a few copper that you can farm by easily on level 60. And buy it in the auction house. It's far more efficient than killing multiple guys on the level just to get the materials that you need. The second tip is do not loot everything. This sounds weird. Honestly, this sounds weird. But I want to explain you what I mean with that. Let's say I killed this dude. He's dead. I'm over here, I killed this dude. So I need to move all the way to him to loot him, which consumes around 7 seconds from here. But I need to go in this direction. I want to kill this guy, and then I want to move in this direction. So I don't want to loot this guy, since this is consuming 7 seconds in this direction and 7 seconds in this direction. And if you think about how much time this consumes while leveling, you come together over an hour, and this is just worthless. What you want to do is, considering on your level, not loot everything. Just loot them when they are close to you. As an example, I mean, I'm a hunter. For me, does it not matter, since I can just have my pet on this guy and then attack and move while I have downtime. So I won't lose any damage. I can do this efficient since I have a pet, but probably you don't have a play hunter or warlock and you are unable to do this. Or let's say as a warlock you are just able to do this when you get your dots on it. When you use your casts, you're also not able to do this method. So you do not loot everything. To be more precisely about myself, on level 1 to 10 I loot around 90%. The reason is I buy a melee weapon and a bow on level 3 and level 6. And yeah, for that I need money, obviously. This is why I loot around 90%. Furthermore, is hunter very low early game, and the armor that I get is helpful. Later on level 25 till level 30, for example, I loot just around 10%. Since there I'm able to kill everything very fast, since I am 2 level above the enemies in average, and I don't want to stop. For example, I have my pet, he's there, I have my pet on him, I want to move in this direction, so I'm attacking him, and gets my pet into me, attacking him further, gets the pet again to him, so that he isn't too close and not too far away. And yeah, so I'm moving as fast as possible, I'm not looting, and I save on those levels at least 10% plate each level, just by not looting them, and you do not need the gold. It's not that important to have your mount on level 40. I will do another video to this. Yeah, so don't loot everything. And the next tip, I already mentioned it, don't stay. You could just stay here and attack, use your spells of course, and attack this guy, and then, oh, stupid, he's too close, I need to attack now in melee and reduce my damage by around 50%. If you are new to the game, you will probably do this because you do not understand how to avoid this, and I saw so many streamers which are not understanding how to avoid this. This is pretty embarrassing, to be honest, having over 500 viewers and don't know how to avoid such easy thing. However, the thing is, you want to do this in moving. For example, I want to go to this mob as next, so I can, as already mentioned, just stay here and wait until he's dead and waste my time, or I just move while I have downtime. Think about, I have my pet on him. If I have my pet on him, it would be more efficient, but I can also do this here in melee, which is not that efficient since my bow, my melee weapon is a bit faster, but you got the point. You're able to reduce the time that you spend for moving, for traveling, and you will spend a lot of time for moving. I have my aspect which increased my attack speed, my movement speed by 36%, but you probably won't have it. So you want to reduce time that you spend for traveling. So kill everything while moving. You want to kill them on the way. There is no reason to stay with them. Get a proper weapon speed add-on, weapon swing add-on, I'm sorry. Just get one and kill everything on the way. Don't loot everything, kill everything on the way. As already said, you want to kill everything on the way. The reason is you want to kill literally everything. There are not enough quests in the game. You will come to it. It will come a time in which you need to grind anyway for 100%. This is just the case if you know all the quests. You do not know all the quests if you play this game for the first time. For example, between Arati Highland and Wetlands is a bridge. Below the bridge in the water, and there is no chance to come back to the bridge since there is no stairs or something. You have absolutely no method to come up there. You need either to swim all the way back or use your heartstone, so you don't want to fall down. However, down there is a skeleton which started the quest, which gives you the entire level from 29 to level 30. Since it's a very long quest chain. You don't know the first time that there is a quest. How the hell should you even know? This is impossible to know. Another example. There is a burnt down house, and there are 3 items that you can pick up which do the same thing. They start a long quest chain. However, it's not that big, but it still gives you at level 35 around 30% experience. And there are many items in the game which start such a long quest chain. And speaking of which, quest chains. You do not want to abandon quests. You want to do all the quests, even if you think they're not efficient. If you want to abandon a quest, Google the quest before. Then it might be that this quest starts a long quest chain, and with very easy quests afterwards. You perhaps need to do a very awful quest which is not worth, but all the follow quests are worth it. For example, many quests you just need to talk to someone and get the same amount of experience for the previous quest. Kill as much as possible as you can on the ways while moving. Do all the quests. If you really want to abandon a quest since it sucks and you don't want to do it, Google it before if it's an important one or not. I have the 7th tip, dungeons. You probably heard already on stream or YouTube or somewhere else, I don't know. Dungeon grinding is efficient. That's true. Dungeon grinding is right now the fastest way to level. However, this is just the case if you know exactly what to do. And if you play this game the first time, you don't know that. And I'm not speaking about doing the dungeon 5 times and then you know what to do. This is not enough. You need to know exactly how to play your class, what items you need what spells you need to use, and especially what abilities the enemy have, and how to pull them together. It's not like you pull one group, kill them, perhaps use some CC or kite someone because they are tough. No, you pull multiple groups together and kill them on the maximum efficient way. And you don't know that in the first time. Everyone which did this method don't know this. They are practicing this multiple hours to know what to do. And you don't know what you need to do in the first time, obviously. So dungeon grinding is not an efficient way. You don't want to do dungeons. That's not correct. There are many quests for every single dungeon. So the goal is that you get all the quests together for one dungeon, or get a group which has all the quests and can share them. Make sure that you have literally all the quests. If you don't know which quest the dungeon has, Google, like for example, 37 map, Ulderman, quest guide. Then do you find at least 5 pages in Google which shows you exactly quest guide, which quest you can get, where you get them, and how to do them exactly. It's very good win, and this is the case for every single dungeon. So just Google it up and do the dungeon then with all the quests once. Not twice, not 3 times, just once. If you create a dungeon group, make sure that you don't get similar classes in the group. Make sure that you get classes which need other items. For example, you don't want to have 3 hunter in the group. And make sure that the people also understand. For example, not every warrior understands that they have to go for 2-hand weapons. They probably think, oh, this is a good 1-hand weapon, I want it, and it's a roach weapon. And if you don't know how exactly which item, which class needs, ask the group before, since probably there's one private server player and they know this, since we are all autists which played the game multiple, we played it long enough. So they were my 7 tips. I hope you enjoyed it. If yes, subscribe and like the video, and keep those tips in mind. It sounds weird, honestly, I can understand it, but you perhaps want to just write it down, that you don't forget them. Especially the thing with don't forget your the items in your inventory. You want, since this is what I forgot. This was on purpose, by the way. It wasn't, but you got a point. A tip with the inventory is, if before you go in an area, it sounds weird, but before you go in an area, you want to clean up your inventory. Kinda obvious, but you will figure out that you will forget this big time. You have just the quest in mind. Oh, I need to do this quest, and then auction house and blah blah, and then in the end you're going in the next area, and then oh my god, I forgot to clear inventory, and then you're moving all the way back, which consumes around 20 minutes. If you have to go a long way, perhaps even 40 minutes, since you need to go all the way back again. So you need to go back to selling and back to doing the quests, which is a huge time eater. So you don't want to do this. Clean up your inventory every time. Remind yourself that you need to clean it up, and then check it out that you have everything in your inventory that you need. Do you have your food? Do you have your water? Do you have your consumables overall? Do you have them on the highest level? I really recommend to have them always on the highest level. Means 15, 25, 35 and 45. You probably think, hey, I am level 45 and I have 35 food and I don't want to sell it. It was super expensive. And you got a point, it's super expensive. In a time that you spend to eat, which takes longer, could you already kill an enemy? And the enemy is giving you some loot. So it's not such a huge amount of money that you lose there. Probably you would even lose more money if you don't use the higher food. So always use the highest consumables. And make also sure that you have, since it happens very often as a hunter, for example, that you do not have enough arrows. You just see if you have over 1000 arrows in your inventory, this point over there. You don't see exactly how much arrows you have. That's the reason why I have the arrows over here, that I see, okay, I have 3000 arrows. That's not enough for the area, I need more. To be more precisely, in some areas, I'm buying so much arrows that my entire inventory is full. No joke. Because I don't want to move back, and for me it's also not important to get gold on the higher level. I have to add this. Otherwise, if you are level 50 already, you probably want to sell stuff since it's worth, but I'm not looting it after level 50 since I just don't need it. I just want to become 60. I have to add that. However, don't forget your class specific things, and it was the last tip. I hope you enjoyed it. As already said, follow and subscribe. And very important, if you have any questions about classic World of Warcraft, I mean, we have still 12 days, just write it in the comments. I will answer everyone. You can ask me literally everything about the game except PvP, since I have played just 1 week PvP, and I'm probably not the person that you want to ask about PvP, since I'm just way too less experienced. Yeah, have a good day, guys.